喺個主要嘅網頁度，你哋可以重溫。好快我哋會打開我哋嘅翻譯線㗎啦嚇，請大家準備。
Oh, they don't have it separate today?
We will have it separate. It's going to go on as soon as we just introduce the series, and then they'll have the interpretation. So you won't hear us in Spanish.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So bienvenidos a todos. Esta noche estamos esperando que entren algunas familias y luego vamos a entrar al cuarto de interpretación.
Thank you. We're waiting for everyone to come in. There is a question. Will we have access to the recording afterwards in case we get cut off?
Yes, you can go to the district webpage where we actually have the PowerPoint and the recording.
Thank you. There you go. Great. Let's go ahead and start with translation slide.
So vamos a empezar con la parte de la traducción.
好，各位應該準備咧，我哋開始咗呢個選語言嘅功能嘅時候，你哋點擊下邊一個圓球 interpretation 選中文 Chinese， 稍後我會個線會開咗，你哋會聽到我同步翻譯噶啦。
All right, we're going to go ahead and start the interpretation.
Okay.
Vamos a empezar el cuarto de interpretación.
好，我哋翻譯準備開始噶啦。好。
You're muted, Franklin.
Good evening. For the purposes of tonight, happy holidays. For the purpose of tonight, our training or our landing pad will be interactive. So we invite as many people to turn on their cameras where you can, and also to participate in the chat window. We will have a raffle tonight. We're actually very excited for a holiday raffle. We normally have $25 gift cards, but tonight we're going to raffle off $100.
Damn.
Tonight we're going to raffle off $100 gift cards, and so of course, needless to say, your participation increases your chances of winning at the level that feels comfortable for you. So typing in the chat window, for those of you who don't know, if you're on a computer or if you're on your phone, you can find the chat at the bottom of the screen. It might be hidden behind 3 dots in a row, but we want to encourage you to use the chat and also unmute yourself for the group discussions.
Yeah, thank you. And you all, we want to just thank you so much for being with us again. We see some familiar faces. I would love to see more faces. Hi, kids. We love seeing our kids in the background. This is a family landing pad, and so get your coffee, your tea, and whatever you need to relax. I would also like to say that we are waiting for more people to come in who got the new link. So while we wait, if there is something you want to talk about or is coming up for you, we'd love for you to put that in the chat box. We can't promise 100% we'll get to it, but we will look at it and try to get to it or integrate it in our workshop, our landing pads moving forward. So let's just take 30 seconds. We call it a chat blast. And what that means is just blast in the chat while we wait for more people to come in. If there's topics or things you want to chat about or something that is on your heart or your mind about your young people. While you guys do that, Franklin and I and San Leandro Unified, the Educational Service Division, would like to say thank you for being here again tonight. If you just got off work, raise your hand. If you're still doing work or if you're still here, everybody give me a hands up like this. We're here together. And so we're gonna go on a quick journey, but we're gonna try to enjoy each other and have some fun. Our intention is also to give you all some tools on how to manage stress. Now, here's the secret for those who don't know, Franklin and I. While we are professionals, we have 3 kids in San Leandro Unified. They are 5th, 6th, and 10th grade. Yes, if you want to give me a virtual hug, I will take it right now. And so we are coming to you all for everyone who is feeling it. All right. Are we ready to roll? Thank you. Please feel free. Great. All right. We have some great numbers in the room. Frank, I'm going to go ahead, and if you could advance the slide. We're Blaze Consulting Group. You probably see us in the neighborhood a lot, running around with our kids or trying to survive. We're in it together. All right, ready for the chat blast question. We always start with some questions. If you're ready, let me see a thumbs up, a heart, a sound. Unmute yourself, have your kids be like, go. We just love to hear the sound of humans. All right, you there? Okay, great. The first question is, tonight, thank you, Winnie. Thank you. Tonight, we will be talking about how we deal with stress. Okay, you all, is there anybody out there besides me who's a little stressed right now? Raise your hand. Right, see? Okay, people are coming on camera. Come on, we all in this together.
We're all in it.
Stressed over kids. Woo! Stressed over family, finances, and some of us are stressed that our kids are about to go on break and we don't know what to do with them. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's you. If you're with me, just give me a wink. Your kids won't see you. Give me a wink like that. Okay. Oh, I see you, Zaren. I see you. Great. And so how do you know when you're stressed? Is there anyone out there that would like to share? How do you know when you're stressed, or what does stress look like for you right now? 2 participants have raised their hand. And so I see Leon and Maxine Hong. And if I'm not saying your name right, please correct me.
Oh, they'll raise their hand and say they're stressed.
Oh, love it. Thank you. Okay, good. Is there anyone that would like to share with us what stress looks like for you, or when you know you're stressed?
I would like to share.
Thank you.
有壓力嗰陣，即係對住佢哋做功課嗰陣時，咪有壓力咯。壓力即係咪出去行下，或者同啲朋友傾下咁咯。即係同佢哋講下應該點樣去陪佢哋做功課咁。
Okay.
Lacey, are you able to switch back to English and translate it? No. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, when working with my kids.
Okay. I hear I can go. Who was that?
This is the Orozco family.
Yes.
Hi.
I have 3 children, and I feel our stress levels go up when the voice tones and voice volumes begin to get higher and higher throughout the day.
Yes.
Or we are tossing and turning at night, not being able to go to sleep.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anyone else feeling that? Your tone or not sleeping? And I want to pause on that because we need to know that there are other parents feeling that. You are not broken. There is not something wrong with you. Those are stress factors that are presenting for many of us. And I think I saw a hand.
Lena, did you want to?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
就係陪啲小朋友做功課咯，同埋每日都要提醒佢哋返學嗰啲時間啊，所以會覺得比較敏陣啊，覺得敏陣嗰陣時會深呼吸啊，會自己做下其他嘢減下壓咁咯。
And while Lacey's translating that, she said when not knowing how to help kids with their homework.
Oh my God, right here. right? There, can we say there, how many of you are stressed over Friday and grades going in? It's kind of like we're back in elementary, middle, and high school, right? If that's you, go ahead and shake your head, right? Great, thank you. The next question, where does stress show up in your body? So for example, for me right now, I could feel it in my back. Where do you feel it when you feel stressed?
I feel like when I'm stressed, I feel like my jaw is a little bit clenched and I'm tensing up in my face, and definitely on my back too. But I feel like I need to like relax my jaw sometimes because it's just tensing up in my mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone said I will listen to music.
我咧
All right.
就
Go ahead.
我咧
Nadia.
就覺得會頭痛啊，覺得好似好煩躁啊，好似好敏感啊。
Thank you. Lacey will translate. While we wait for that, I want us to take through a moment to release stress, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to take 30 seconds, and I want you to do what I do. Ready?
Ready.
Arms up. Feel that go out of your back. Just a little movement, family. Everyone do what I'm doing. Even my kids out there, help your parents. Okay, stretch this way. Family stretch time. Oh my God, that feels so good. Reach forward like you're giving people fingers. Hey, touch each other. Head. Oh, this. If you want to take off your sound because you're like, oh my God, this feels so good. These are little things we could do throughout the day to move stress through our body, and we can do them with our youngins too.
I can't say.
Oh, it feels good. Feels good. Okay. Now, who is the first person in your life to notice that you're stressed? Who is the first person to notice your stress? My husband, my kids,
老公都
right, your
老公
son.
都唔知啦，係得自己知咯。
Yeah, it's one of
Myself.
those. Yourself. My mom, yeah. You all.
My children.
My granddaughter. The people closest to us notice where we're in stress. And one of the things for parents is usually we don't carry as much of our stress in front of our kids because they go to school. And so it's something different when they're sitting with us and they're experiencing. And my little one, William, will be like, Mommy, your eyes look different today. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't want him to know. So what we're saying is when that stress comes up, and we'll talk about it later, if your kids notice, your husband, let's pause for a minute. Let's breathe together. Let's stretch. And let's know that we are important enough as parents to figure out how to move that stress outside of us. All right, so let's give little snaps for everybody stretching and participating. And Franklin, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the parent facilitator slide.
And I just acknowledge all the participation that's in the chat window.
It's amazing.
Folks are really also just sharing. A number of folks who are noticing that stress comes across as migraines or headaches, and being able to identify that as well and listen to our bodies is important. And also being able to identify, not only being able to take a Motrin, because sometimes that's necessary, but also what are some of the other things that we can do, which we'll talk about today to try to address that, or to share ideas with one another.
Yeah, and that leads us to the next slide, resource slide, facilitator slide, please, Frank, is that James is on a call, Mr. James Parrish, and Joanna, who is a parent advocate or facilitator at Bancroft Middle. We want to give them a second to actually talk about the fact that there are many resources in the district. And so James is going to talk about that real quick. And the list that you're seeing, take a picture with your camera, because sometimes the emails, it's so many emails, we lose it. But take a picture with your camera so that you have the name of the school, the parent facilitator, and the contact number. And so I'm going to pass it on over to Mr. Parrish.
Great, thank you very much. So we have 10 parent facilitators here in San Leandro Unified, 8 at the elementary school and 2 at the middle school. And they're there to help support families with making connections with teachers, to be a liaison for parents with their teachers, administration, to help troubleshoot any problems or issues that you may be having. And all of them are available. You have their phone numbers here. Only thing we don't have is their email address. But if you go to your school webpage, they would actually have that person's email address, which we'll add on our next slide. We'll add that to this here slide so they can have the email addresses as well. And so if you need support, these are definitely a key person to check in with at your school site. So please make sure that you are aware. If you aren't aware now, you're aware around our parent facilitator program.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. And the parent facilitators, Joanna, they can help you find some of the support you need, even if it's not them. That is what they help to facilitate. I do see in the chat box, if we can get translation for Spanish. Frank, you can go ahead and put up the other slide as we move forward.
Forward, yes. Great, so let's talk a little bit about this unique confluence of stress in 2020. There is no need to tell anyone that 2020 has been a interesting year. That in fact, I saw someone this morning said 2020 wins. And so so as we go into winter break, we wanted to just provide some coaching support for you as your young people come off the Zoom calls and we go into the holidays, which is already a time that is known to bring joy and also bring a level of tension. There are 3 factors that may be contributing to our fatigue and stress in this season of 2020. And we wanted you to know that not only are you having an experience, but we are having experience, not just we in San Leandro, but that we are as a global community, as a national community, experiencing something. Ginger, are you trying to get my attention? No. We have kids.
My kid is looking for me, yes.
And then, so there are 3 that I want to just name for you so that you know that that sensation you are feeling is real. One is the pandemic stress from coping with quarantine. It's been since March. The truth is, I was thinking about it and I realized that December is actually the 1-year marker that COVID has actually been in the earth. And so the coronavirus has been present for a year as of this month. And in March, we went into the quarantine. And so from coping with quarantine, we might have anxiety, we might have tension, we might have exhaustion and grief from either knowing someone who has been affected by COVID or from just anticipating COVID coming towards us or being close to it as we start to know more and more people who are impacted by the disease. The second thing is something called racial battle fatigue. And this is an idea that is that folks are experiencing an exhaustion from being taxed mentally, from constantly facing racially dismissive, demeaning, insensitive, and or hostile racial environments and individuals, right? And this only applies, specifically racial battle fatigue, only applies to people of color, right? There's a corollary that is called white fatigue that has just started to be researched in the literature, which refers to a pattern for white people who are fatigued from talking about racism. So that could exist as well. But racial battle fatigue has been codified and studied for a number of years. And finally, there is the normal holiday stress, right? That we've all know, that so many of us know about, which is an intensified focus on, family, on work, on money, and being able to try to create the joy. And we see so many images on our social media about that are fake or, trumped up because people are performing for social media. But we try to then recreate that for our own families, for ourselves, or we just feel the pressure of the season. And so much more that we're quarantined and not able to access all our family and friends. And so the increase of stress, the research says, is felt more by women than by men. So all of this might be something that you are experiencing. Gingy.
Yeah, so I'd like to pause for a sec before we move into some strategies or tools. Is there anyone out there that would like to share which one of these stressors is popping up for them more? And especially now that we've identified 3 specific areas, we'd love to hear your guys' voices in the room or in the chat box.
Yeah, which of these feels familiar for you or relevant to you?
I feel like these stresses have all been felt through this year. I feel like since the beginning I've kind of had some of the pandemic stress, but I feel like for even before this year I've had the racial battle fatigue many times in my life actually. But yeah, and then the holiday stress has only kind of started more because I feel like this whole month kind of just flew by, and I can't believe it's only like less than 10 days away. But yeah, I've definitely felt these all this year at one point or another.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. This feeling that everybody describes as Groundhog Day from the movie, where you're like, how did we get here so fast? In and of itself has that feeling. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
And Frank, we have 2 hands raised in the room. The chat box is going off. And
all right, Orozco family, you want to check in? Orozco family, did you want to check in? Or Leon Zhang?
And there's Wendy and Vilma and Griselda and Eden are all commenting.
Yeah. Griselda, if you want to unmute yourself and share in Espanol, that's totally okay as well.
The translation is, for me, it's a little bit of everything together. If that's how you feel, go like this. Yes. All of it.
Hello, 李老师。那也是这样，有点像我的压力，我就觉得，在哪里写名字？0后，这个我，就比如说我们，要一边工作，然后一边又看着。
So there's pandemic stress, there's ongoing co-parenting stress, there's all of the above. Ask kids to do your homework stress. We should have named that, Gingy, tonight. Ask my kids to do their homework stress.
That's a whole nother stress, right? Even asking them, how many of you, there's a study going on that's saying less people have been using deodorant. And so our kids, some of them are the stress of reminding kids to put on deodorant every day, or is that just my house? I just have to put that out there.
Oh, geez. I love it. So yeah, and there's also the homeschooling, the stuff that comes from homeschooling, the stuff that comes from being able to understand the homework that was talked about earlier. I cannot tell you that managing Schoology and Parent Square, while they're important tools, especially in the pandemic, it's like a part-time job as a parent, just to try to click through all the classes on Schoology and on Parent Square to stay somewhat aware of what is going on. So absolutely.
And I want to note as we shift also, putting multiple kids together in a house. My goodness, I'm with you there, right? How do you sit a 5th grader, a 6th grader, and a 10th grader next to each other and a dog, right? And so all that to say before we move on, everyone, go ahead and put up your hands like this. Put your arms up and hug yourself because you're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job.
You are doing the best you can with what you have. And if there are kids there, go ahead and hug your parents or your guardians and tell them thank you or good job. Good job. One of the ways we get through it sometimes is we hug ourselves and we pat ourselves on the back. All right, Mr. Heister.
And we're totally not alone. That's the beautiful thing as well, as seen on this phone call, right? So just being aware of that too. Just be.
Oh, Winnie, I love all of you guys. In Winnie's house, they're all hugging each other right now.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, my husband. You.
Your husband.
He came to us.
Oh, yay. Beautiful, right. Beautiful. And in a translation from Spanish, someone said, it's hard, and then to get home and help my daughter, it's even more stressful. Thank you for hanging in there, parents. We're amazing. We are amazing. All right, we're going to give you guys some other strategies to use as well. Go ahead, Mr. Heiston.
Thank you, Mrs. Heiston. So we want to share with you some strategies, and we understand that although we may not be able to literally let go of all the stress, we can manage the impact of these things on our well-being. We know that as we take on more stress, as we take on more energy, we actually affect our well-being, both at a physical level as well as a mental level. We are literally dealing with ourselves at the physical and mental level. And so what we want to do is, we can't take it all away, nor necessarily should we take it all away. Next month, I'll just give you a commercial. We're going to talk about the flip side of this, which is the benefits of being able to make it through challenges, the benefits of being resilient. But that's just a commercial for next month. This month, let's talk about the ways that we can manage that stress. And so one of the ways that we might, first of all, we've been talking about throughout our series is being able to identify and name feelings. Right. I get off work and I have had a tough time at work, whether it's with customers, clients, or my coworker, and I come home and the chores haven't been done.
Oh, Lord.
Or the homework has not been done. Kids are on Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty. And so
if you're with him, just blast in a chat blast. Go ahead, Frank.
Just start to scream all over the place. What is going on in here? And I realized that, I need to be able to name that I am disappointed, but my frustration is because of work, but I'm disappointed with the children. You see the difference? And so that we can begin to separate out what belongs to the house and what belongs to the kids and what is for work. I've been coaching Gingy and I've been coaching a number of working parents over the past 2 weeks that have admitted that they feel guilty for screaming at their kids or raising their voice to their kids when they know it is work that is stressing them. And we say, first and foremost, offer yourself grace. We're all human. And then figure out what belongs to the kids and what belongs to the parents. And I'm going to take you right to our next slide, which is then set boundaries. Be able to separate work from the home or work from the family. And be also aware that you have permission to set boundaries. Who are you waiting for permission? you have the permission to set boundaries, to be able to be human enough to say, I need 5 minutes. A parent told me today, the bathroom is my second office. And when it's too much, I say, I'm going to the bathroom. It's going to take me about 15 minutes. But
if anyone out there, the bathroom is your spot, just go ahead and type bathroom in the chat blast.
Type bathroom if you understand what I'm talking about. Where we get that space, you know, to be able to take a moment to reset so that we don't bring the work stress to the home stress, right? And being able to do that is hugely important. Sitting, if you have a driveway, being able to sit in the driveway before you walk in, if you're still going in and out of the house for work, or whatever you can do to find that space, the balcony, a walk around the block to just recess that space. But if you do need to set a boundary, it's okay, and you don't have to ask permission. So you need to just figure out these 3 questions. Who needs to know how you feel? What do you need to tell them? And then here's the part where we sometimes stop, is we don't make a request for what we need. So we might say, you know, to our partner, I had a really hard day. I'm still a little annoyed. And I apologize if I'm having an attitude or if I'm coming across sharp. But then we also need to ask for a need. I'd like to take 10 minutes before I start on the dinner and the house and the homework. All right. Or mommy needs 10 minutes. Or daddy needs 10 minutes. Or even tell the Chihuahua, I need 15 minutes to pull myself together so that we get the break that we need. How does that sound to people? Is that something that resonates, or does that sound like something else in terms of reality? Talk to me, my friends.
It resonates.
Yeah. Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing, and thanks for breaking that silence. Thank you. And then let me share with you one more, and I think I'm going to throw it to Gingy, is to rediscover a hobby. And so what happens if this holiday break, you think about something you used to enjoy and you pick that thing back up, especially if it has like a mindfulness element, which means that you can get lost in the small details of that work. What are some examples? I have a friend just told me recently, it might even been on this call, that they like organizing the Legos. It just does something for them to take drawers and put green Legos here, orange Legos here, red. It's not about being neat, or it's not about being overly organized and literally about the Legos, but it's about slowing down, right? And doing that aspect. Some other people, it might be straightening up a particular part of your house that you keep straightening up, or cooking a new recipe, or gardening. And so what is a hobby you used to have? Oh, the coloring. I've heard about the coloring, and coloring alongside your kid so that you're both quiet and doing the coloring. What are some other examples? James, I don't know if you have one, or Gingy, around a hobby you might pick back up.
A hobby I picked back up is watching Netflix.
That's right. Being able to do that. And let the little, the automatic thing keep playing, so that next thing you know, you've gone through 7 episodes. Someone said Kyle said playing board games, cards. Let's bring back spades. That's part of our culture, and bidwits.
I think Melanie Littleman, you want to say yours? I heard you on mute. Okay. Oh. Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Oh, on Netflix.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you can learn how to play chess right now. It's a good game to play. Go ahead, Frank.
My dad told me it's fun. It's a thinking game.
It's so stressed with your dad right now, huh?
Yeah, science, technology, engineering,
我有壓
art,
力
and
嗰陣時啊，會出去個丫嗰度。
Great, love it. Our kids have so much wisdom. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. All right, Frank.
Hold on, I think
就係種下啲植物啊，掹下草，揀下鴨。
And then Lacey's going to give us the translation. Oh, gardening. Thank you so much. I bake, make pickles, make beer, and garden. There you go.
Ooh, can I come and get some pickles?
That's a winter break.
We should do a community share where people just leave stuff on their lawn and we'll know that you're part of this session. We'll come eat it.
That would be so awesome.
What'd you say?
Pickled okra. Come get some pickled okra, I said.
Oh, okra is one of my favorite vegetables.
Love it, love it.
Gosh.
All right, you all, as we move forward, what we want to do too is now give you another tool. And I want to say one of the ways to release stress is anybody out there, can you support me in the chat box? Are your kids like melting down and crying and like one day one kid cries and the other one or all of them together? And so one of the things I've learned to de-stress is to separate my kids and to sit down and listen to each of them. And then also in that, sometimes my 6th grader who's coming into awareness of self, sometimes I say, tell me whatever you need to say and I'll tell you. And he says, Mommy, I'm stressed, or I don't like the way you talk to me sometimes. And I say, thank you, son. And for sharing, sometimes I have to say things you may not like, but I love you and I'm stressed too. And then guess what we do? Sometimes we just hug each other and cry. I say, we can't fix it, but we could get through it together. And so sometimes the way to release stress is to stop and feel the moment. Feel it with your kids, feel it with yourself, feel it with your spouse or who's with you. Take a breath in the moment, talk through it, cry through it, sing through it, dance through it, whatever works for you.
Oh, wow.
Observe the release that happens when you do that, and then process it or let it go. And so we say, stop. Sometimes we want to run through stress as if that solves the problem. But sometimes we just gotta, how many of you out there, so you don't have to bust yourself out, I'll bust myself out. How many of you out there sometimes just need a good cry? Like, whew, is this over yet? Thank you, right? Yeah. And sometimes out there, we just need to, instead of yelling at our children, because that is easy for a lot of us right now, we don't want to, but we do. Sometimes it's pausing and just holding each other through the moment. Ah, Shirley, you said you can sing. Where are you? Can you unmute, or can we get translate? Shirley sings a good song. Oh, you put on one of those good songs. Kelly said yes. Maybe Shirley, you'll come sing for us one day in person. We'll all meet outside at the park. Great. Is there anything anyone would like to share before we move on and move towards a raffle? We'd love to hear what's coming up for you, or is this helpful to you to talk about different ways to manage stress?
I'll share like something that happened today that was pretty cool. My daughter and I, like, she's a little older, she's in 3rd grade, and my boy's in 1st grade. And I have a lot, like you said, like we're all together and it can be like really stressful. And even though we're all together, you know, I realized that the individual attention is missing sometimes. So we were able to play like just a simple game together, and then it went to like making a shirt. And so just like, you just need markers and stuff, but it made like this.
Oh, love it.
Oh, cool.
Like with my daughter, just, and we talked about connecting, you know, because we played Connect 4, this simple game, but we made a shirt. She likes wearing big shirts, yeah, for PJs and things. So
yeah,
wonderful.
I was able to, like, you know, kind of like connect now, because it's such a stressful time. We just want to yell, scream, you know.
Yeah.
But to remember that this is a chance to really we got each other at least, you know?
Kyle, I'm going to share with everyone. That's a great activity to do over the holiday break with our kids. Get a big white shirt, some markers, and say, what is it to connect? Or another theme. That was really amazing activity. Let's try some of that stuff. Thank you, Kyle. Anyone else? What do we see coming in the chat box, or what are we saying? Kai, do you want to say anything? Am I saying your name right? K-A-I?
Yeah, it's K. But
thank you, K.
As you were talking about it, I have one screaming right in my ear, so
it's okay. You are amongst your peers. We get it.
Yeah, I was just saying in the chat, it helps to hear other people kind of going through the same thing that I'm going through, getting upset about certain things, and it's okay, to be upset sometimes, and it's normal. So it's good to hear others kind of sharing the same type of things that I'm going through.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Lana's phone, would you like to share? I love what you have there.
Yeah, so I work for Stanford Children's Clinics, and I periodically go to their webinars on stress as well, and parents, helping other parents also. And the MDs are there to kind of toss back and forth like ideas, and then also things that they've heard works for parents. But that was one of the things I had put in the chat, was that a full 10 seconds of hug. And you don't realize that sometimes when you're rushing around and doing things, you only give your kids like maybe a short kind of hug and then you walk away. But if you really hold for that 10 seconds, you really feel the release. And sometimes me and my daughter will kind of like grab each other and do the hug, because I always say, hey, I need 10 seconds. And she'll run up to me and we'll just do the 10 seconds. And sometimes we'll kind of jump on the bed as we do the 10 seconds and kind of hold each other, because she's a lot taller than me at this point. So I just think that maybe trying the 10 seconds and doing that more with your kids kind of will see the release of stress. At least I've seen it for myself since I've tried it.
I love that. Thank you. Saying to your kids, or you guys saying, we need 10 seconds, and everybody knows what that means, right? So little code where you're like, I need 10 seconds, and that's hug time. So thank you for sharing that. All right. Are there any other, let's see, we see in the chat box, translation, this helps me. These are good tools and I will put into practice. Great. And we'd love to hear how they're going in our next session. Thanks for the reinforcement. Just some beautiful stuff in there. And so you all, I want to wrap up this part, and Franklin and I saying that we know here is what's different about the stress you're experiencing now. Usually it's isolated based on different things people are going through, but we actually have a communal stress that we are going through that is not about race. It is not about class. It is not about religion. It is about our children, and it is for the goodness of ourselves and children. And so tonight we want you all to know that you are not alone in that stress, that you are not broken, that you are not bad, that you are enough. And in this season, please, please, please pick up a hobby, find someone to talk to, hug your kids for 10 seconds, hug yourself for 10 seconds. Somebody said they go to the laundry room. I love that. Kids don't like washing clothes. Go lock yourself in the laundry room, right? And so in this season, or have family dinner. Our family here, Winnie, you brought your family to dinner to this session. Those are ways to release stress. So thank you so much. And guess what, y'all? It's raffle time. Woo!
All right. Thank you guys so very much for being a part. We wish you guys a happy holidays. Tonight we are going to raffle off. Oh wait, is there a question? Do I see your hand? I do see your hand.
Yeah. I just wanted to add to the stress relief. I got Calm, CALM on my phone. And I put it on every morning and every night. There's a meditation or soft music or bedtime stories from Calm. And it's really, really helped me a lot. I put on for the kids in the morning and we just sit for 10 minutes and listen to it.
Yeah, my kid loves it at night for sure. So thank you for sharing that.
You're
Especially
welcome.
when he's stressed, and I just put it in the chat box.
Oh,
and Lana
cool.
did too.
Great.
There you go. All right.
Great.
You got a lot of votes for that one.
He did.
Yes.
All right, let's raffle. Holiday parent raffle. Woo!
Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to raffle off two $25 gift cards, and then we're going to raffle off three $100 gift cards. The raffle is really random, and it is based on everybody being here, and then if people participate, they get a higher chance of winning. If you are called, I'm going to call your sign-in name that's on the screen right now, and then you stay in the meeting so that we can get your contact information after everybody else leaves. So if your name is called, please stay in the meeting and then wait till we can get all your information. So you should not sign off until Gingy tells you she has your info, okay? So I'll make sure that Joanna and Lacey specifically say that part.
Frank, how there's the $25 and the 100, so you're gonna say which ones come first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
We're gonna raffle off two 25s first and three 100s second. All right, here we go. The first $25 winner is our friend Lana.
Woo! Yay, thank you.
Yay.
Lana, please,
Congrats.
if you are able to chat your email and phone number and name to Gingy privately, or what you can just wait.
Yeah, or just stay on.
And Lacey, help me with this. John Key Lynn's iPhone. Yeah, there you go. Woo-hoo! $25.
Yeah, thank you, lucky.
So make sure you get the contact information.
Thank you for being online.
All right, Frank, I think before you do the 100, we should have people like unmute and give like their favorite concert shout or club shout when we used to.
Thank you.
I love that.
Jennifer, thank you for that reinforcement, by the way, too. Thank you. All right. The next winner is for $100 gift card. Amy. I think we have one Amy. Hopefully we have one Amy. Amy, are you still there?
Yep, I see Amy.
係咪好啊？
Congratulations.
All right.
係咪
Stay on the call.
OK， 多謝 ，Thank you， Yay！ Thank you.
Awesome.
Melanie, also a winner. Melanie.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh.
And then finally, Chris. Let's go. Are you still on, Chris?
I don't see a Chris. Chris.
There he goes. All right, Chris, start sending your information. Everybody, we wish you a great holiday. Please take care of yourself. Our next time together is January 6th, the Wednesday soon as we come back.